So we got a short video for you guys today. We're making a cutting board for my mom for a Christmas present. Yes, Christmas already passed, which is why this video is coming out now. So we're going to start with some rough sawn walnut. We're going to mill up here through the planer and the jointer. This is about 1.25 inches thick by the time I finish planing it and jointing it. So we're putting a 1 square edge with a couple passes of the joiner so we can rip it down into strips. So once we rip it into strips, what I did is I placed the board vertical against the fence and pinched it between the blade, so then I can get perfectly square strips to glue together. Once those were all ripped, I took a classic approach and did a walnut and a hard maple contrast in those strips. So we spread out some glue, smeared it real well, and then put it in some clamps. I think I had enough clamps. Not sure. You can never have too many. That's what I hear, at least. So we left it overnight, and we pull it out of the clips the next day, out of the clamps the next day. And you can see I left those long strips there on the end. That's so when we run it through the planer, the snipe is taken out of those strips and not out of the actual board, affecting it later on. So now that we've got those glued up and planed down, we're going to cut it to its final size. So I squared up the first edge, and then I ran it through the crosscut sled, taking off those extra tabs on the end of those hard maple. Had a little bit of a pop up there. Peed myself a little. Then I went to the sander and I rounded over the edges, just to give every edge that's going to be touched a really nice feel to it without any sharp corners. I realized I cut this juice groove here, or these handle grooves here, and I didn't film it. So here's a recreation. Done. So now we're just going to wet down the board just to give us a look at what it's going to look like when it's all done, but also it helps raise the grain. So then when we come back and sand it with 220, we can get it really, really smooth. So I'm using a butcher block conditioner for this. It's a beeswax and mineral oil mixture. So I make sure to lather on a good amount. This was actually too much, and I had to share it on the back. But what you do is you just kind of put it on there and you spread it around, and then you let it dry. Once it's dry, you can buff off the excess. And I ended up doing 2 coats on this board. You can do more. I just had such a thick coat with each one that I didn't think a 3rd coat was necessary. You can see me kind of sharing the excess on the back because I definitely put too much on the front. Make sure you're using a lint-free rag when you're spreading this around as well. You don't want that lint getting caught in the beeswax. So now that it's dry, we're going to take a clean rag and we're going to buff off the excess and get it to a nice, smooth sheen. So now we're going to put some rubber feet on the bottom. This just prevents it from slipping around on the countertop. I used my combination square here just to make sure that they were all evenly spaced from the corners. And you see I have a fast cap patterning marker here to mark out the holes. It's a long nose marker. It's great. I've had this for years. I have a love-hate relationship with it because I broke it once and I refuse to replace it because it still kind of works. So once we pre-drill those holes, we screw in the bottom rubber feet. And once we got the feet in, this was all done. Hey guys, I'm sitting here at my kitchen table editing and I realized I forgot to film my outro. But if you like this project, please like and subscribe. You can hit that bell notification. to get some updates and alerts when I put out a new video. I'm going to try to put these out this year once every other week, maybe more. But again, this was a really quick project, great for a nice gift if it's a last minute thing. I did it in probably about a day if I didn't wait for the glue to dry. So it's a quick and easy project. Well, I hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time on Shepherd's Workbench.